Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to the online class of Pharmacognosy 2B Advanced 5 to 6 Theory. Today we will discuss about the chapter that is the tumor inhibitors from the plants. The contents for today's lecture include plant with a tumor inhibition property, rifamycin antibiotics, macrolide antibiotics, and anti-AIDS agents. So basically more related to the natural origin like plants. So colchicum is the example of the plant with the tumor inhibition property. The biological source of colchicum is the dried ripe seeds of Colchicum autumnale or Colchicum calm. So basically in the dried form of the Colchicum autumnale, when the calm or the bulb become dry, so it's called as the Colchicum calm. Family it belongs to is the Liliaceae. So the basic chemical constituent, the important active constituent present in the colchicum is the colchicine. So this slide is presenting the chemical structure of the active constituent of Colchicum autumnale, that is the colchicine. So the uses of the basically the colchicum includes use as a anti-gout, or you can say the treatment of gout. The condition which is characterized by the increased concentration of uric acid in the blood, which may lead to the inflammation of the joint. Basically, it is less preferred as compared to the NSAIDs or other steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, but do possess a good anti-gout properties, and it has also shown some of the anti-neoplastic effect, which shows that the research shows that it has the effect upon the chromosomes, thereby it can inhibit the mitosis. So it can be used as a potential anti-tumor agent from the plant origin. So our next topic in this chapter is about the different types of the antibiotics. So before moving into the actual antibiotics, here is somewhat little bit introduction of the antibiotics. It says that the antibiotics are basically the metabolic products of microorganisms, including bacteria and fungi, that suppress the growth of other microorganisms. So basically majority of the antibiotics are the basic sources include the microorganism. They produce metabolic products that are going to affect the other microorganism, specifically bacteria. So that's the simplest description about your antibiotics. So the example of the bacteria and the molds that are being used as a source of various antibiotics include in the bacterial example we have the streptomyces genus with the different species and plus bacillus, whereas in the molds or in the fungi section we have penicillium genus as well as the cephalosporin. So these fungal and the bacterial sources genuses those with the different species are going to provide the various types of the antibiotics are mostly the antibacterial agents. So here is the different mechanism of action or somewhat you can say the based on the mechanism various types of the antibiotics that are available like cell wall synthesis inhibition. The most common example we have is the penicillin, cell membrane dysfunction, polymyxins, ribosome dysfunctions, that is the actual mechanism of the macrolides, DNA dysfunction, that is the activity of the rifamycin, DNA gyrase inhibitor enzyme is caused by the quinolones, whereas anti-metabolites, the effect of the sulfonamides, whereas the agents that are analog to the nucleic acid usually possess somewhat antiviral properties. So antiviral agents are termed as the nucleic acid analogs. They are going to affect the nucleic acid of the microorganism. So in antibiotics, we have the rifamycin antibiotics. Uh, say the rifamycins are a group of antibiotics that are synthesized either naturally by the bacteria or it's been produced artificially in the labs. So here is it's not a single agent; it's a basically group of various type of the antibiotics. So at initial discovery level, the antibiotics that were discovered were named, or you can say termed as the rifamycin A, rifamycin B, rifamycin C, rifamycin D, and rifamycin E. So these were initially isolated from the source, the natural bacterium source. So, in among all these, researcher found that the only component of the mixture, this mixture means A, B, C, D, and E, a mixture, a metabolite that is obtained from the bacterium. Only rifamycin B was the agent which can be isolated as a stable, as a pure agent. But the problem happened with that was it was very poorly pharmacologically active one. So normally all these were isolated, all were unable to stand alone or may can be isolated as a individually in the stable form was not possible. The only possibility was with the rifamycin B, but that has very poor effect. So as researchers found that the only stable, pure, isolated component, rifamycin B, was poorly active, they started extensive modification or research program in creating, synthesizing various derivative which may be more active and more effective in the treating the various infectious diseases. So they start an extensive modification program in which they developed various derivatives which were more stable, more effective, and they also synthesized the versions that are orally effective as well. So initially, whatever the rifamycins generated, they were only effective intravenously, but afterwards, whatever they synthesize, they become orally effective antibiotic for treating the bacterial infections. So it says rifamycin antibiotics include rifamycin drugs and the rifamycin derivatives. So initial rifamycin drug derivatives are there, and then there are also there semi-synthetic forms like rifampicin or rifampin, most common drug. Then we have the another derivative that is the rifabutin. Then afterwards we have the rifampicin, then rifamycin and rifaximin. So these were the derivatives which were developed. These derivatives were effective orally, whereas other rifamycin drugs usually developed they were effective only intravenously. So in rifamycin antibiotics, rifamycin SV was the first drug of this rifamycin class, which found to be clinically effective when administered intravenously. So the rifamycin SV is the intravenous antibiotic that was the very initial first drug of this class. The biological source of this rifamycin SV is the rifamycin B, which is a metabolite of Streptomyces mediterraneae or Amycoptocus rifamycinica. So this is the botanical source, biological source, the bacterium from which the rifamycin B is isolated, and after its conversion to form certain derivative, we are going to obtain the rifamycin SV. Okay, the first derivative from the rifamycin B was rifamycin SV. So, Streptomycin mediterrani was the initial name. Nowadays, it has been termed as the Amycloptosis rifamycinica. So, both name are same. The first name was the Streptomyces species, and now the next one nowadays being used as a modern name of the source from which the rifamycin are extracted out. So this slide is presenting the structure of your rifamycin SV, the derivative of the rifamycin B, clinically effective. So rifamycin SV was clinically used to treat the tuberculosis and the leprosy infection. So it is very important first drug that from the rifamycin used to treat the TB was rifamycin SV, and also it is going to be affected in the leprosy. So basically, the rifamycins are very effective against the mycobacteria or mycobacterial infections. So next rifamycin we have is the derivative, the orally effective rifamycin antibiotic, that is the rifampicin or rifampin, which was the very first derivative. You can say afterwards the IV derivatives. This was the first oral derivative that was formed from the rifamycin. So again, the biological source is the same. The only stable, pure rifamycin, that is the rifamycin B, and the again the source is same, Streptomyces mediterrani or Amycloptosis rifamycinica. So source is again same. So from the rifamycin B, the derivative is being formed, and that is termed as rifampicin or rifampin. So this slide presents the chemical structure of your rifampicin or rifampin. So clinically, rifampicin is a very well-known anti-tuberculosis drug, but research also suggests that at very high concentration, um, this drug, rifampicin, directly inhibit the growth of variety of human cancer cells. Means ke, at the high concentration, at more concentrations, uh, the rifampicin can be the anti-cancer drug. It can act as an anti-cancer drug in the humans. So, along the side of mycobacterial infection treatment properties, it also has the property to kill neoplastic cells, or you can say the cancer cells. Okay. So next we have is the macrolide antibiotics. So the macrolides are a class of natural products that consist of large macrocyclic rectone ring to which one or more deoxy sugars, usually glutinose or desoxyamine, may be attached. So you can say they are having a very big macrocyclic lactone or cyclic ester ring in their structure basically, and they are that is being attached to the one or more either glutinose or desoxyamine deoxy sugars. So that is your the simplest description of your macrolide antibiotics. The further properties include case the says कि the lactone, the macrocyclic ring are usually 14, 15 or 16 members. So depending upon the type of the antibiotic or molecule, the ring may be consist of 14 members, 15 or 16 membered compound, and generally they are termed as the polyketides. ठीक है, the polyketide class of natural products. Usually the products that contain more than one carbonyl group in their structure, they are termed as the polyketide. So in the natural products, they are having the lactone ring, so they are considered as the polyketide group of natural products. So pharmacologically says कि macrolides are bacteriostatic in nature, means कि they are going to suppress or inhibit the bacterial growth rather than killing the bacteria completely. So bactericidal are going to kill the bacteria and doing all by its own, by removing the infection in any person, whereas the bacteriostatics are the agent that inhibit, suppress the accelerated growth and letting the immune system of person to combat that remaining quantity of the bacteria available in the body. So basically macrolides are those agents which are not going to kill the bacteria, remove or eradicate completely, but they just serve as a helping tool for the immune system. So person's immune system by its own is going to attack the bacteria and killing them. So macrolides class of antibiotics include erythromycin, which is a 14-membered antibiotic or compound, roxithromycin, which is also 14-membered, clarithromycin as well, and azithromycin, which is basically a 15-membered compound. So the bacteriostatic agents belongs to the polyketide groups. So in the macrolide antibiotics, we have the drug that is called erythromycin. The biological source is Streptomyces erythraeus and belongs to the family Pseudonocardiaceae. So this slide shows you the structure of erythromycin, in which in the big electron structure is there, and then they are being attached to the sugar molecules. And the upward you can see there's the digoxamine, and whereas in the second attachment we have cladinos. So this is how electron is attached to the two different types of the deoxy sugars. So erythromycin can be used to treat various respiratory tract bacterial infections, skin bacterial infections, pelvic inflammatory diseases, and disease. So mostly majority of the bacterial diseases can be treated by using these type of the macrolide antibiotics, but again they serve as a bacteriostatic in nature, means that they are going to just inhibit the growth, suppress their accelerated growth, and let the immune system to um, manage the disease or condition. So next topic we have is the anti-AIDS agent, or you can say the agents used to treat acquired immunodeficiency syndrome that is caused by the HIV virus or human immunodeficiency virus. Classification of the HIV include it is a retrovirus, so it belongs to the class of viruses among retrovirus that basically infect CD4 cells. So the CD4 cells are usually found in the surface of T helper cells, monocytes, macrophages, and dendritic cells. So all these cells that are responsible for managing the immune system and fighting the infections are get infected by the HIV. That's why it become a big disease and difficult to treat. So, says the treatment with HIV medicine is called antiretroviral therapy. So, according to FDA, ART or antiretroviral therapy is the treatment of HIV by using drugs or medicines. Says people on ART take a combination of HIV medicines, usually synthetic, and called an HIV treatment regimen. So, whatever the antiretroviral therapy is there, usually according to FDA, WHO, they are saying the single therapy or monotherapy is prohibited. You have to use the combination of the various anti HIV agents or the medicines for its treatment because it's a heavy infection type. So that's why the treatment is called as a regimen. So when there's more than one drug is there, we call it as a regimen with a proper um those proper schedule is there. So that is your regimen. So usually more than one drug is selected according to the guidelines. It says the initial HIV regimen generally includes three HIV medicine from at least two different HIV drug classes. So even at the very initial stage when HIV is diagnosed, at least three HIV medicines are selected for its treatment. But those should not belong to only from a single class. So usually there is six classes of the anti-HIV agents, especially those synthetic medications are there. They are classified into six different classes. So the guidelines says they should at least three should be selected in the regimen, and all those should belong to at least from two different classes. If not three, at least two different classes. Means two drugs from the can be from one class. Second can be from another to improve the efficacy and to reduce the burden of the ADRs. So therefore, different classes of the drugs are combined to create a regimen to treat the HIV. So here basically we are going to discuss various anti-AIDS agents from plant or you can say the natural origin. So basically nowadays whatever the treatments are available they are from synthetic origin. But there are also various plants or various constituents from the natural origin that also possess a good um, antiviral capacity against the especially retrovirus that is the HIV virus. So first class that is important is the alkaloids, and the one of the source of those alkaloids which are effective against the HIV virus are proved effective against the retrovirus is the Castanospermum australis. Family is Leguminosae. The constituents that are helpful in the treating the HIV are they shown activity against the HIV virus is the castanopermine and 6-epicastinopermine. So this slide is showing you the structure of the most important constituent that is the castanospermine. So uses of this compound says that the compound inhibits alpha glucosidase 1 and 2 which control the formation of glycoproteins in the viral coat. So the you can say the mechanism of action of this anti-AIDS or anti-HIV virus agent is that they are going to inhibit the enzyme that is called alpha glucosidase 1 and alpha glucosidase 2. The enzyme that responsible for formation synthesis of the glycoprotein for its viral coat uh, without this coating important coating the virus will not be able to infect the healthy white blood cells. So basically when they are going to attack the cells to cause the infection. So basically, they attack the lymphatic system. They are going to attack the immune system. So these agents have proven that they are reducing the capability of the virus to create a strong coat that is going to attach to the healthy cells and then infect them. So they are going to inhibit those enzymes which are responsible for that, and by this manner they have proven their antiretroviral efficacy. So next class, that is a very important against the retrovirus is the anthraquinones, and those anthraquinones that are especially obtained from the genus of Hypericum. So various species of Hypericum are there. They are being source of those anthraquinones which have effect on the retrovirus. So family is the Guttaferrae. The constituent that is important and having the effect is the Hypericum, and the clinical data and the various research sources shows that is very effective against inhibiting the virus, retrovirus activity. So this slide is showing you the structure of Hypericum, the anthraquinone agent responsible for antiretroviral activity. The next class of the compound responsible for antiviral activity is the coumarins. Biological source example is plant Calophyllum lanigerum, family again Guttaferrae. Constituent responsible is the calanolides A and B, mostly calanolides A. So uses it says it causes inhibition of giant cell formation in the HIV infected cell culture. So the very infected cells are unable to form very giant cells, which lead to the production of the various viruses. Uh, So it inhibit that cell formation in which there is the replication of viruses being takes place. So normally when the cell formation is inhibited, so it means that is going to also affect the infection spread in the body of the patient when given um in vivo. So this slide is presenting the structure of calanolides A, the most important one. So these are the references for today's lecture. FDA website. There is the pharmacognosy by Tyler, Fries and Evans, and CCK. So if you have any question, we will discuss in our Zoom meeting.